everybody. I am here with Mountain West Motorsports. Specifically, we've got Bob Beltrami, Bryan Barns, and Rob Gall, 3 of the 5 members of the team. How are you guys doing?
Good. Doing great, man.
Awesome. So I think this is the first of the driver spotlights. So we've got 3 people from the team, so that's really good. I appreciate that, and that's really that shouldn't be surprising. And we're going to talk about that more in the interview, but. You guys show up. You bring it every single time. So why would this be any different? So anyway, I appreciate you guys coming in. So Bob, this is mostly for you. This first question. Most of the teams in the Pacific Majors were formed specifically for this series, right? They may have existed loosely before, but you guys have been around for a long, long time. Whether it be Mountain West Motorsports or obviously the league that you run, the Western States Racing League. So tell me a little bit about how you guys came together originally. Tell us about your league a little bit and how that all fit in.
Oh, holy cow. I don't even know really where to start. I guess I'd have to go all the way back to 10, the Total Entertainment Network, way back in like 97, it seems like. And it was for NASCAR Racing 2. Boy, my memory is getting awful. And I met up with Rob there way back in the day. And boy, we had a lot of fun racing stock cars back on that service. And things just kind of took off from there. I mean, obviously, Papyrus continued on with NASCAR Racing 3, and it all continued on into what we know today as iRacing. And it all just kind of evolved out of a couple of guys who just met up and enjoyed racing. And it's been a lot of fun, I'll tell you what. Obviously, we feel that way. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, would we?
Right, totally. So you guys started way back. And there was sort of that the dark ages, I don't know what else to call them, but between NASCAR 3 and iRacing, did you guys do anything different? Did you have a hiatus, or did you just keep running 3?
Well, we were lucky in that Paul Eigsty, who was the founder of the Western States Racing League, he was able to put together his own server serving up the sim, and really got the WSRL going about 16, 17 years ago now. Mm-hmm. So that all, and after 10 closed its doors, that's what really kind of kept us all going together. And we still have probably a handful of guys who are racing from the old days.
Mm-hmm. Cool. That is so awesome. Yeah, I keep track of your website a little bit, and I'm impressed the longevity. I think that things that stick around are cool in general. So awesome, and kudos on that. So what made, and this could be for anybody, but what made you guys decide to run in the Pacific Majors, either individually? Obviously the first year you guys did, so we didn't have a team championship, but what made you decide to run the Pacific Majors and then as a team?
So I can jump in just really quick and just say that I jumped in myself because Bryan was having such a great time with it, and commented to us on the enjoyment he was having as a member of the Northwest team before, we in California and the guys in Colorado could really get involved. So when it opened up, it made it easy for us to jump over, and then I'll let Bryan and Rob take it from there.
Cool.
Yeah, it was Bryan's fun in it that we decided we need to get in there too and have some fun. So.
Well, good.
When it was Northwest Majors, I had a blast, and so when you expanded it, it became even more fun, man. Mike, you've been doing a great job.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I certainly appreciate you recruiting these guys. And I've found obviously that the word of mouth and people telling other people has been obviously a big way of expanding the series. So it's cool, and it obviously becomes more of a family thing with people who know everybody in the series, and so I think growing it like that has been a good thing. But anyway, it's good to know that's how you guys came together for the series anyway. Now, so last year was the first time we had the Constructors Championship, and you guys finished second. And again, you've had a strong team for a long time independent of this series, so that probably made it pretty neat, easy, and natural to jump into. This year you are fourth so far, but my personal opinion is that you have probably a better shot at winning the title this year at this time than last year at this time. So do you feel the same way, and is that the goal?
Well, I don't think that we really look at that as a trying to win the Constructors Cup. We're just out there to have fun and to race. So, what comes up is, if we win it, that's great. But that's not our priority, I don't think.
All right.
Trouble with us is we're a bunch of old guys that really have really good race skills, but we have no setup skills. So it all depends on what setup we manage to find.
Oh man.
And we know what to do with it because we've got such good, race skills.
There you go. Well, I'm familiar with all that except for the race skills part, so I'm with you. Totally understand. Okay, so the goal is not necessarily to win the title, but just to see where things fall. Although I think you're right there, especially with the three of you and Mark not missing any races at all so far this year, which is pretty cool.
And we'd be lying if we said that we weren't paying attention.
There you go. All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and you're three of the top five in the Legends division, which is all three of you, and as Bryan called you out and said you're all old guys, and I'm pretty close to. So, youth you may not be served, but certainly experience is. So you're showing that well. But maybe I already know where we're going to go with this, given the last answer. But so despite all the races that you guys have run and your consistency, the team is winless since Bryan's win in 2014, which was when it was the Northwest Major. So even before the Pacific Majors really formed. Is it the setup thing you guys are talking about, or is there another reason? And is that something that you guys are looking forward to cracking through on?
That's a good question. I don't think there's any question that the setup plays a role, and not having a guy on the team with some sort of engineering sort of skills, that has an impact. But
anybody else? Nope. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to jump into my next question then. So instead of trying to get the monkey off your back question, how about this? And this is for all three of you. So of the races that we run, and obviously we run pretty much everything, what's your favorite race? Which one would you want to win the most?
I want to win the dirt at Eldora.
Ah, there you go. Cool.
I'd like to win the probably Watkins. I think that'd be a cool one.
All right. NASCAR at Watkins Glen. Cool. All right. And Bob?
That's a good question. I hadn't actually thought about that. I guess, if I looked at the schedule and thought if there was one event that I could win, it definitely was this one this past week at Indianapolis. That's the race that got me into motorsports. Even as a little kid, I can remember my parents just being a little bit confused as to why I even, or where I got this interest in motorsports, because I used to want to watch the Indy 500, and nobody understood where I got this kind of thing from.
So nothing in your family, huh?
No, it's just kind of amazing that way, and so they would roll their eyes and say, "Okay, we'll go flip on the tube and do your thing," but they always enjoyed it with me, and I appreciated that, and so I obviously would have to say that the Indy 500 would be the one, and I had a great time this past week. That final run to the checkers was really a blast.
Nice, awesome. Okay, so Bryan, for you specifically, so you've won the overall championship in the Northwest Majors. You've won the Northwest Club Championship 3 years in a row. You've won the Legends division, and you've won the Southern 500. So you've got a race win. You're definitely the guy, the man in the Northwest Club that everybody compares themselves to. So, what other goals does old Bigfoot have?
Mainly picking up the pace. The Northwest Club is really, over the last 3 years, has grown so much. I used to be able to step on everybody like a Bigfoot would, but now, there is some really stout competition out there in the Northwest.
Totally agree. Absolutely. So, and I think obviously you drive a lot of that, so that's really cool. Now, still speaking about you though, to me, so you've won all those things, and obviously you've done a great job, and I think that your consistency speaks for itself. But to me, one of your most impressive stats is your consecutive start streak. So I don't know how many people know about it, and I don't even know that you know how many it is. But I'm going to tell you, you're at 44 straight starts in the Northwest/Pacific Majors. Have never missed a race, and if everything goes well, and maybe you'll hopefully it will, you'll get your 50th straight start in the second to last race of this year. That's pretty awesome. So how do you do that, and why?
Well, I love racing. I can't seem to, I'm a points racer more than anything, so I can't seem to miss a race if it's going to cost me anything in the points. That's probably the biggest thing.
Well, I appreciate you being there, race in and race out, and helping to grow the series. So, and pretty much anything I put up, you've always been willing to give it a try, and even if it wasn't successful, you were always there and giving it a go. So I appreciate that. But I will say that the Ironman streak that you have of 44 is really just a microcosm of the whole team. You guys, as a team, Mountain West has more starts on the year than any other team in the series. And 4 of the 5 of you have not missed a race this year. Is there a mentality behind that, or is there any thought behind that, or is it just happen?
Heck, I think it's because you put on a good show, Mike, really, honestly. And I mean, not only do you fill a pro split every single time, you fill a second split and sometimes get a third going. I mean, that's amazing. And it speaks to the quality of the competition. And that kind of goes back to what you'd asked before about how we feel about not having busted through for that win yet, and it goes to speak to the quality of the competition in this series. It's just amazing, and we're very thankful that we're even a part of it.
Oh, well, that's I very much appreciate those comments. I don't know that I deserve them, but I very much appreciate that. And again, I always see you guys are knocking at the door. I know that the 4 of you are going to basically be there. You've missed races once in a while, but it's really few and far between. So appreciate that. And again, it's just the guys.
I lost sleep for Charlotte.
I believe it. Absolutely. Okay. So I don't know if Robbie has a nickname, but I do know obviously the Baja nickname, and I don't know. So I know the origin of that a little bit, but I'll let Bryan tell it. But the Salami nickname, I'm very curious of the origin of that. So go.
Well, I don't know really where it came from. I think what happened was the broadcast guys in like the very first event pronounced my name Beltrami. And I thought, okay, well, let's make it a little easier on the guys and let them know that I'm Italian, and it's not a Beltrami, it's Beltrami, just like salami.
Bam.
And I think that was the end of it there. And I thought it was just fine, and I embraced it. I grabbed on to Gallo Salami
there you go.
As my sponsor, and painted up the cars in the red, white, and green of Italy. So we're having a great time with it, and
I love it.
And I love it.
I love it. Well, I'm glad. I did not know if it originated in the series or not. I hadn't heard it before, so I thought it might have, but I didn't know. I mean, and of course you got Bill Zahn will come up with all sorts of crazy stuff. So didn't know if that was the case. So very cool.
We love it. Those guys have a good time with it too, so it makes it a lot of fun to watch those broadcasts.
Yeah, it does, absolutely. All right, Bryan, tell us about yours.
Oh, that's quite a while back. I was radio controlled racing in San Diego for quite a few years, and was pretty much on top of the heap, for quite a while there. And a bunch of us got invited to a big race down in Baja California, and went down there and qualified real well up until the margaritas took over. And then that's kind of all my buddies started calling me Baja after that, because they had to pick me up off the ground and stuff. So it was that kind of stuck after that.
I love it. I love it. And hopefully the broadcasters will pick that up and they'll start using that. But they seem to know you for the popsicle machine. So what is that, like a lucky sock or a lucky rabbit's foot, or what is the deal with the popsicle?
Well, let's say the WSRL was running the NASCAR 2003 way back in the day, and I as soon as iRacing started, I said we got to go over here. And so when I went over here, they had only a few sponsors to pick from, and so I'd say, "Hey, popsicle will work." And since 2008, that's what I've run, and so it's kind of become a color.
There you go. Well, you are known by it now, so you're I guess you're not allowed to change. I don't know. Rob, any nicknames for you other than whenever you get into the sportsman slate, you beat the crap out of everybody?
No, nothing's stuck. I don't guess. These guys haven't really given me a nickname yet. So.
Well, what's wrong with them? So outside of iRacing, most of our guys are race fans. So what form of motorsports do you guys follow?
I like to watch NASCAR and some of the F1. I enjoy watching them every weekend, or when they're on anyway. Getting up early in the mornings and that sort of thing.
So do you have a driver or a team?
Probably Vettel.
Oh, for F1, you're a Vettel fan? Okay, cool. Awesome. Bryan, Bob?
Yeah, I admit that I've become much more of an F1 fan over the last couple of seasons, and yeah, seeing Sebastian Vettel really embracing Team Ferrari has been a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah.
So that's very cool. I'm also enjoying a lot of the IMSA and WEC racing. You know, the endurance stuff is a lot of fun. Both to watch and to participate in iRacing, and Mountain West does the 24 hours of Daytona, and we recently did Nürburgring, and this weekend we're looking forward to doing Le Mans.
Awesome. Okay, cool. I was going to ask you as if you guys were participating in that, so that's awesome. That'll be a good tune-up for our race too. So nice. And Bryan?
I watch just about anything. I like a lot of stuff on dirt, MAV TV.
Okay,
I
cool.
do enjoy Supercross and then the outdoor season, which is going on right now in motocross.
All right, awesome. Well, cool. Awesome. So diverse, and any hobbies outside of racing, or is racing your guys' deal?
I golf every weekend.
I totally knew that. So what is your handicap?
Steadily going up with the age, unfortunately. I was a 13, but it's back up to a 16.
All right. Now, I think you've told me this before, but where do you have a home course? Do you play somewhere specifically most of the time, or do you kind of venture around?
Stone Ridge in Medford is
okay.
where I play.
Yeah, you did tell me that before. Cool. So I used to be a golf pro. I don't know if you knew that or not, but that was what I did for a living.
I need lessons.
That's what I did for a long time. So my point is that I would love to get together. Well, we need to have like an iRacing meetup anyway, whether it's the Northwest Club or Pacific Majors or whatever. But I would love
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I would love to get together with Bryan and whoever else wanted to do it, and maybe hit Bandon Dunes or something for a trip. That'd be so cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I would also like to get together at the end of the season with whoever wins the Northwest, because I got a feeling someone's going to take it away from me. And I was thinking of that original trophy you gave me is such a cool trophy. If we could make that a yearly trophy to where whoever wins it, we got to meet together.
That's cool.
And and hand off from the previous champion to the next champion, and get our names on that thing.
That's cool. That would be cool. And you're right. I'll be honest with you. I have felt embarrassed is probably the best word, because that first year, that first trophy, I was so proud of it, and it was and I don't know if you know, but that was handmade. It's basically a one of a kind deal, and I reached out to the guy that sculpted it the next year, and he wasn't doing them anymore, and he only made, I don't know how, it wasn't literally a one of a kind, but nearly a one of a kind, and he wouldn't do it. I said, come on, will you make me another one? I need another one, and he wouldn't do it. And I've not been able to find anything that even holds a candle to it since then. But this year, so I love your idea of the traveling trophy. That's very generous of you, and I would hate to have you give that up, to be honest.
Now that you say that, I'd hate to give it up too.
It's not. Yeah, you're not just going to run out and find it. But this year we've got a guy in the series who does 3D printing, and I got together with him at the beginning of the season. And I said, hey, if I design some trophies for you, can you print them for me? And he said he could. So I'm going to pay him for his costs, but essentially we get to make them how we want to. So I'm really excited to reveal those. The Bigfoot's coming back. It's not going to be as big as yours, but it's still going to be pretty cool nonetheless. So I'm excited for that. But I love your idea.
How cool is that?
Yeah, I love your idea. So anyway, we hope to make those a lot nicer than they've been in the past. So, or obviously Brian's trophy trumps everything else that we've sent out by far. As a matter of fact, the Mario Andretti trophy that Jason Fleischle got is also sort of a one of a kind deal from last year. It's actually a collector's one where it's numbered. I think they made a couple hundred of them. I don't remember. I don't know how many specifically, but again, it's handmade and from a guy in England. And he had it shipped over, and then we shipped it to Jason, and it broke in transit, and he basically fixed it together. But it basically killed me when he sent me that message the day. He says, "Hey, I got Mario," and he's didn't do so good. He didn't make it very well. So that first trophy was really the one.
What a heartbreaker.
Yeah, it was. It totally was. So, you guys are running Le Mans. Have you checked out Le Mans in the fog at all yet? Probably not.
No.
Yeah, so we're running it with 2% fog. Just FYI, in case you hadn't seen that. It's going to be awesome.
Wow, I'm looking forward to seeing what that does to visibility. That should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's only 2%, so it's not too bad, but it's got this eerie feeling to it, to me anyway. So anyway, I think it's appropriate for Le Mans. It's got to be raining or dark or something there, right? So
yeah, sounds appropriate.
Well,
that was a Predator, wasn't it?
This coming race is a Predator race. Yes, absolutely.
Wow, a 4-hour Predator. How are you going to get that right?
Oh, so I got talked into that in the off season. It was going to be a 2.4 like the rest of them. They were like, "No, it's Le Mans. It's the first time we're doing Le Mans. It needs to be longer. It needs to be special." And I'm like, "You do realize that, with with the 4 hours, the handicap's going to be crazy." So yeah, I don't know what they're gonna. Obviously, I don't know the handicaps yet, but we're expecting it somewhere in the almost 20-minute mark for the HPDs. So,
holy cow!
Yeah, so just hang on to your hats. Now, there's no GT3s in the race, so that's helps it. Otherwise, it would be even worse. But with the GT, we did add the GTEs in, so yeah, I expect a healthy handicap. For those HPDs, they're gonna be. Don't leave your engine on. Let's just put it that way.
Wow. Well, definitely looking forward to seeing what's going on, because you guys always put on a good show, Mike.
All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate that. The teams. I don't know if you've noticed, but the broadcasters really get into the whole team concept, and you guys are neither. You're so just good, and you're just consistent and steady. But I feel like you never get the credit you deserve, and I feel like you never get the recognition you deserve on the track, or at least as much as I think you should. Because again, you mind your P's and Q's, you race hard, you race fair, you don't get into anybody's business. But you guys also don't have team colors or team paint scheme. Anyway, we can get you to change that.
Is that something that you guys want to see, or it's never?
Me personally,
honestly, it's never been, because we've always among us, like Brian has always gone with that blue paint scheme that we all know him in. That's why we call it Old Blue. Yeah. And Rob in the 31 car, that black and red,
absolutely.
Yeah, so it's funny that. So we really haven't even given much thought to a team paint scheme. No. It's funny that way.
Yeah, I don't care at whatsoever. I've noticed that it's sort of become a trend, and Mountain West.
And you're right.
In my opinion,
I noticed the guys at Indy had a good time with it. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, you could see all the different teams and who their drivers were, and it definitely added to the whole the fun of watching the event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you guys obviously have your own special things, and like you said. With Rob's Fujifilm and Brian's Popsicle and whatnot, it is recognizable. But I think a lot of times the dots aren't connected to say that's Mountain West, right? And maybe that's okay. But
we need a big visor, huh?
There you go. You need a windshield visor. Perfect. So you can all buy the Ferraris and do a windshield visor.
We do, when we do the endurance races on iRacing, we do run a Mountain West paint scheme on it.
There you go.
In the team events. So.
There you go. Anyway, so just I'm giving you a hard time more than anything, but I do think you guys are you're always in the hunt, whether you want to be or not, for the team title, and I feel like you deserve a little more recognition than you guys get. So my 2
Well,
cents.
we definitely appreciate that. We're definitely not Alliance or any of those the big teams for sure. So definitely just appreciate even the thought.
Oh, no worries. All right. Well, gentlemen,
Anybody else there wants to be a crew chief setup man, we are taking resumes.
there you go. Exactly.
Absolutely.
Well, you're talking to the wrong guy, but that's hopefully you're talking to all the people in the league who might want to join your team. So there you go. We got some good independent guys out there. Appreciate your guys' time. Appreciate everything you guys do within the series and to make it go. And I'm glad you have a good time with it. So I will let you guys get back to your nights and your lives and your families. Thanks so much.
Thanks for having us on, Mike.
All right. Thanks
Thanks,
so much.
Mike.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Mike. Appreciate it.
You bet.